So, good morning, everyone. I'm so glad so many people showed up. This is awesome. And everybody's got their coffee or their protein drink or what have you. I had a client last week and we did a mid year review, which brought back all kinds of memories for me of doing postmortems in one of my former clients that I worked with. So they were always crazy. We were always trying to gather all this data that we probably should have done, as we went along the year, but that didn't always happen, at least for me. So I wanted to get everybody's opinions. How do you, when you wrap up a project and you're doing your recaps, your evaluations, your annual reviews, how do you keep all that data going all year long?
And for me, one of the things that I started to do after finishing like major milestones is having sort of a half hour, 1 hour retrospective with the group. And we try to make it fun, right? Like last one I did a couple months ago, I involved, action heroes, right? DC, Marvel, just to keep the team engaged. Um, I think those are useful. An hour after a long milestone that you've accomplished to just kind of say, okay, what worked well, what didn't, what are the things now that I never did before that I want to try to keep doing for other phases of milestones in the project. So um, those seem to be very received very well. So having those in between versus waiting for the project to end, I think is drives value. Depending on
Of course, Chris, you told everyone that my father-in-law drew for DC Comics for years, right?
no,
He's
no,
like,
I didn't know that.
no, I did.
I did not. I'm gonna have to remember that for the next time I do a retro.
Maybe
That's
I can
awesome.
even get you some comic books there, Chris.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Isn't that cool? Yeah, she even got to go to Comic Con. He got an award a few years ago too, right, Tracy?
He did. He got an
Tracy,
award a few years
what
ago at
character
the San Diego Comic-Con, and it was just a fabulous event.
what character is he I guess is he involved with on the DC side?
So my father-in-law passed 20 years ago now, almost 20 years ago. But he drew for years for DC Comics. He drew Batman and Aquaman, and a number of other characters. Um, yeah, loved him to death. And yeah, just a spectacular, spectacular, humble man. He drew in his
Great.
basement. So he'd go to work every day, walk down to his basement to his art studio. He'd draw, send in the drawings to DC Comics in New York City. Yeah, I did that for years. So
The
Awesome.
original work from
yeah,
home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly what I was
yeah,
gonna
he
say.
was ahead of his time, right?
There you go.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely ahead of his time.